talk about leadership. We all want to be good leaders and we try to find ways to lead our organization in a better manner. So, what I have done is I have done a lot of research on how our great leaders from past used to manage their organization when at their time, such as Shivaji, the great Maratha warrior, Chanakya. We all know about Chanakya, how great strategist he was, how greatly he led his state. I will also talk about how Greeks used to lead their own people and how one very famous Chinese leader have led his team towards success. So let's start with our great Maratha warrior, the great Shivaji. Now Shivaji was very strong person, but he knew that he has to win the heart of people to win battles. So what I am emphasizing here is about the emotional quotient which people forget that they have to use while leading their people. We all are emotional beings. We may be holding great positions in the organization, but we have to realize that you should be winning the people's heart to make them agree to the larger organization goal. Shivaji understood that, and he used to have talks with people even if they were not at a very high rank positions, and because he had a rapport with everybody, he could ask them to do lots of things for him. Now HR people, we all know they take so much pain to recruit people. So this was done by Shivaji also. He used to take great interest in who all is participating, becoming part of his army. And if somebody was performing well, then he used to be promoted. So some kind of award was there in times of Shivaji to recruit people and promote them higher in the ranks if they perform. So what I am trying to say here is you too can use this, and you should start having the right type of people in our organization at the grassroots level. You should be focusing on, in the sense, in the beginning, what type of people are joining your organization, and if they are working nicely, you should be rewarding them. Their performance, their hard work should not be gone unnoticed. Then Shivaji was a very good communicator, a great orator. For example, you all are listening to me because I am speaking to you nicely, clearly. I can relate to you. So if you want your people to listen to you, you have to be a good communicator. And by communication, I'm not saying that you should be very verbose in English language, or you should have used very heavy Hindi words which are very huge and big. Not like that. You have to speak clearly. People know when a person is being honest with you. People know when you are lying. So when I'm talking about communication, you have to be clearly define what exactly you expect them to do. And yes, it has whatever goal you are communicating to the person, it has to be for the organization highest good. If you are saying something that is going to ultimately benefit you, your people will see this, they will see through you, and then they might not be ready to help you what you are suggesting. So here we have learned from the great warrior leader Shivaji. Now we are going to Chanakya. Chanakya was a very astute strategist, and we must have seen lots of TV serials on him. And so today I'm going to talk about how he was a good leader, how he convinced Chandragupta Maurya to do what he wanted to do. Chanakya always said, if you are going to begin a work, you should put it down on a piece of paper, why exactly I am doing it. Secondly, that's the first point. Second point is what the results are going to be. And lastly, will I be successful? This means that you should not do something which is not going to give you any results. Of course, we don't know whether we are going to be successful or not, but we can do some marketing research. When Chanakya could do it in the Maurya's time, we can do it right now. It is very good to be excited about a project and put all our energy into it. But if the chances of success are less, maybe we should quit and we should try to form a new goal. Now, something which I really like from Chanakya Niti and it should be used in leadership is do not share your secrets with everybody. Now, I'm not talking about being dishonest here, but you should keep certain things to yourself. If there's certain talks you have done with your superiors or with your subordinates, you should not be gossiping about them or sharing the information freely, because you never know what the other person, how the other person is taking it. I'm sure you must have, it is very common that water cooler talks, or when you go to for coffee breaks, we meet our colleagues, we meet our friends at work, and sometimes we share information that this is what he was saying something to me, this is what my junior was saying something to me, and sometimes secrets may come out that may be opened later on and they may backfire on you. So even though you want to share with your friends to create a camaraderie with your peer group, you should try not to reveal a lot about yourself with respect to work as far as leadership is concerned. Because if a person if you know that this person is not trustworthy, and by trustworthy I mean whenever you say something to the other person, he's going to go out and blurt it out to his juniors or his superiors. So people will stop confiding in you, and when people stop confiding in you, you will lose the opportunity to learn, because they don't see you as a person whom they can trust. So this is something very nice I have learned from Chanakya. I am sharing with you. You should not be sharing too much information, passing on information freely, and you should learn to keep the secrets within yourself. Chanakya also used to say that we should learn from other people's mistake. We only have the productive life of 40 years. For example, if you start working till from 20 years onwards, you work till 60 years. So 40 years is not a very long period of time when you can make plenty of mistakes and learn from them. So you should learn from the mistakes of others. And here maybe you can do some case studies. If you're working in a biscuit manufacturing firm, you can learn from your competitors what mistakes they did, and then you can use that and become a better leader. Learning, continuous learning. I've not talked about Greeks. We all have read something about Greeks. They were very good-looking people, the Greek gods, and in Europe. So it is interesting to see when I read about how they were very much focused on leadership. They were aware that they have to be good leaders to have a good empire and happy people living there. So one of the very famous thing from Greeks that I have learned is that they used to respect their juniors. They firmly believe that if we are respecting our juniors, our seniors will also respect us. So if you are in an organization where juniors are working under you and you have to report to your superiors as well, you make it a point to be polite with your juniors. A good leader always gives criticism quietly, alone, and you praise the people in public. It is not nice to be criticized in front of your peer groups in public for small things. You must be sensitive enough to let them know that okay, this is not you're doing the right thing, and you should correct this. So you have to give respect to your juniors, and if your behavior is good towards the juniors, you will see that your superiors will also respect you, because what you give out comes back. You give respect, respect will come back to you. You should not have meetings without agendas. That is a very important quality of leadership. If you are entering into a meeting, if you are calling people, this is according to the Greeks, that you should have a clear agenda and try to have meetings to the point. Do not invite people, plenty of people in a meeting room, and then you continue talking for hours together, because this way people may not come and attend those long meetings, because everybody is busy. You have only 8 hours in a work day, 9 to 5 p.m. In India. And so if you are taking 3 hours of the time for a meeting which could have been concluded in half an hour, for example, so you should do that. You should respect other people's time also. Let us now talk about Sun Tzu. He is a very famous Chinese general who was very good at war. And war requires a lot of discipline and very good leadership. Like we see in Mahabharata, how Sri Krishna, he led Arjun to beat the Kauravas. In the same way, Sun Tzu, he was a very good leader, and he focused people on being disciplined. Discipline is very important to lead an organization. He speaks about setting very high standards for yourself and for your juniors. Your juniors will see you whether you are coming to work on time or not. If you are setting a goal, how much work you are inputting to reach that goal. If you're not disciplined, if you're okay with setting a goal and then continuously postponing the deadline, then your juniors will also going to behave the same way. You have to lead by example. If you have set a day that yes, the product is going to be launched on 1st September 2020, you have to make sure all the steps to reach that goal is being completed in time. If you do not do that, how can you expect your juniors to follow you, to become serious? First, you have to become serious about your goal. It is very important, according to Sun Tzu, the great Chinese leader, to be aware about your weaknesses and strengths. It is very good to know what all you cannot do. For example, I'll talk about communication skills right now. There are certain people who are very adept at speaking loudly in public. By loudly, I mean they can convey at that time that they are not happy with any decision. And there are certain people who hesitate to express their views in public. It can be due to any reason. So a person should know his weakness or strength, whatever way you want to portray this. And then you have to choose a communication method that is suiting you. For example, if you are not able to speak very emphatically in public, you may choose the way of emailing. Then you can express yourself via email if you cannot go on in public emphasizing your view. That is, I'm talking about your personal traits. As a company also, if you're trying to lead your organization to a certain path, you as a whole, as a group, you have to do a SWOT analysis, that is strength, opportunity, weakness and threat, of your organization's strength as well as your junior's strength, as well as the people's strength. If your people are not skilled at to reach a particular goal, you should not deploy them to reach that particular goal. This is what we learn from Sun Tzu. And similarly, you can play on your strength. If your strength is that you are a good networker, you can go on and network with as many people in your organization and use them when you need them to get something done. You can write down, you can focus on what all are your strengths. So you should know them very clearly from a leader's perspective, that these are my strengths. I will always play on my strength, and I understand my weaknesses, so I'll not do this and this. Now, I was talking about Shivaji earlier when the video began, that he was very good communicator, and he used to build a rapport with the people who used to work with him. San Wu is also saying the same thing. He's saying you should always develop a trust with your people and always be human. If the people you are working with, you break their trust in whatever manner, say you promise them a promotion and then you do not promote them even when they are working hard, it will break their trust. Or if money, let's not talk about promotion, let's talk about keeping a secret. Maybe a person confided in you, it can be about anything, a work goal, a personal issue, and you are sharing it with somebody else, then you are breaking his trust. So when you lose the trust of people, then people will not follow you. You, as a leader, they do not appeal. You do not appeal to them any longer. So, in order to be a good leader, you have to build a trust, win their trust, and always be humane. If you know that if a person is traveling 3 hours to reach your workplace, you should not be asking him to be at 9 o'clock in the meeting. You should understand, since if from the hiring process itself, you know that this person is staying 3 hours away from work, you should not be, he cannot be possibly coming for 7 a.m. meeting. So you have to show your humane side. Maybe you can have a video chat with him if he cannot be physically present and things like that. So San Wu was very much focused on being humane and to build the trust with the people, and same thing we can do also, you can do also. I hope you enjoyed this video. Today I was speaking about leadership. How can you be a good leader after learning from our great warriors or great leaders from the past. I also have learned so much from these people who have walked before me, and I know times have changed. We are living in the era of internet and smartphones, so we have a lot of things that these people did not at their time, but they, with their limited resources, they could do so much during that time. So we must learn from them, their strategies, their thought process, the humanity part, and we should try to inculcate their behavior into a present behavior in the present scenario in 2020, so that we too can lead our organization as successfully as these people have. If you like this video, please comment in the inbox. You can subscribe to this video and like. Have a great week ahead.